Okay, yes, good afternoon. See, in this presentation, I shall be discussing with you the basics of XP, the basics of XP radio, as well as I shall also discuss with you how to set up an XP radio, how to configure an XP radio, and how to do a simple data communication between two XP devices. One XP which works as a transmitter and one XP which works as a receiver. Okay, so I will share my presentation. Okay, I will share my presentation. So in this lecture, what you will be learning is you will be learning about the XP basics. So what is an XP? The basic types of communication between XP devices. Okay, a simple introduction to pin diagram and information related to the pin diagram. Second, we will see how to configure and program an XP device using a dedicated software. The third one is we will do a simple experiment on how to do data transfer from an XP transmitter to an XP receiver. So these are the three things which we will be covering in this session. Okay, so now coming to XP. So what is an XP? XP is basically a wireless communication system. XP is a wireless communication system which is used to wirelessly transfer data between BW means between two devices. Okay, so you can wirelessly transfer the data. As you know, there are different types of wireless protocols such as Wi-Fi. You have a Bluetooth. You have a Bluetooth low energy. Okay, so what happens? XP is fundamentally a wireless communication protocol, a wireless communication system which can be used to wirelessly transfer between two devices. Okay, so now what happens is XB, using an XB, what you can do is you can actually try to transfer data between two set of devices. Now in an XB, what happens is you can configure an XB. Okay, we will learn about types of devices in XB. Okay, types of devices in XB. So in XB, as I told you, XB is a wireless communication system or a wireless communication channel. So what happens is in XB there are three different types of excuse me, in XB there are three different types of devices. One device is you can configure an XB to work as a coordinator. You can configure an XP to work as a router. And the last one is the sensors and the actuators such as LED and motors which are connected to the XB, okay, which are connected to the system. So they are called as end devices. So totally you have three different types of devices which can be used in a XB communication system. So as I told you, we can try to use an XP as a coordinator. Okay, we can use it as a router. We can actually also connect different types of sensors. They are called as end devices. So a coordinator is responsible for controlling the communication channel. It controls communication in the system. It is responsible for setting the rules, regulations, everything. It controls the communication in the system, while a router is responsible for routing the data, okay, between other devices or channels. Okay. End devices, as I mentioned, they are various sensors, they are the different actuators which are used in the proposed system. So these are the different types of devices which are used in a XP based system. Communication, if you are asking me about the type of communication in an XP there are two types of communication. So you can have a point-to-point communication. Okay, you can have a point-to-point communication, which we will be discussing for this proposed experiment. Otherwise, what you can have a multi-point communication system. Point-to-point means data moves from point A to point B. Only one transmitter and one receiver. Multi-point means what happens is there can be one transmitter, there can be many receivers, or there may be many transmitters and there can be many receivers. So it is basically like a mesh network. Okay, it is basically like a mesh network. So you can go for a point-to-point communication or you can go for a multi-point communication. So we will discuss a simple point-to-point communication in our proposed experiment, which we will be discussing. Okay, so the next one, what we will be discussing is about the pin diagram. Okay, the pin diagram of a XP module. The pin diagram of a XP module. Now, if you see this channel, I mean, if you see this device, we have a XP module, which you can see here. The diagram which I have shown towards the left side. Can you see there is a diagram which is available on the left side? So what happens is it is basically a XB module. Okay, it is basically an XB module. So you can see a 10 plus 10 header module which is being seen, and the black protruded thing that represents the antenna. Okay, it represents the antenna. So this, we have an antenna here. Okay, and we have different devices, or we have different pins which are basically connected. So if you can see here, so the first pin which you can see here, the first pin represents the power supply pin, and please remember an XP requires a 3.3 volts supply for its operation. Okay, you need to supply only 3.3. More than this voltage you will damage the XP. Okay, so we have a supply pin and we have a transmit pin, we have a receive pin, and we have a ground pin. Now, why I am mentioning only these 4 pins? Because only these 4 pins are required for interfacing this with a Arduino. You don't need more pins here. Okay, so let me show you. So this is the diagram. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the supply pin which requires a 3.3 volts supply, which you can get it from an Arduino. Okay, so pin number one will be connected to the Arduino, and D out represents the data out. Data out is the transmit pin, TX. So you use this pin for connecting to the Arduino serial pin. And similarly, we have one more pin, the third pin, which is called as the RX pin. So this pin is responsible for receiving the information into the XB. So information is coming into the XB through RX and information is going out of the XB. So these two pins, they will have to be connected to the serial transmit and receive pins of the Arduino. And the last one, we have a ground pin which has to be connected to the ground of the Arduino. So we will have to use these four: pin number 1, pin number 2, pin number 3 and pin number 10 for connecting this to an Arduino interface. For connecting this to an Arduino interface. So this is a basic introduction about the XP basics. Now, we will in our experiment see how to configure a XP module or an XP device. Once you know about the basics, the second thing what we have to do is, now what is that we will be doing in our experiment. Now in our experiment, what we will do is, we will have two XP modules. XP module 1 and XP module 2. XP module 1 will be connected to the Arduino, okay, and it is working as a transmitter. In our case, what we will do, we will make this as a coordinator. Okay, we will make this as a coordinator. So what happens here is, if you observe this diagram very carefully, I will take two modules. Okay, I will take two XP modules. So one XP module, what we will do is, we will make it as the transmitter. Okay, we will make it as the transmitter. And the another XP module, what we will do is, we will try to make it as the receiver. Okay, so in our case, what we are doing here is, we are actually connecting the transmitter to a Arduino. Okay, so we have an Arduino which is being connected here. So what we are doing here is, we have a Arduino here. So it is seen that the transmitter is connected to the Arduino. Okay, and the transmitter is basically an XP device. So we use this as XB1. And similarly, this is the receiver, which is XP2. Now, what happens? The transmitter is basically connected to a computer. Okay, so we connect it to one serial port of our computer. It is going to our PC. And similarly, what happens here is, our XB2 is also connected to the same computer. Actually, you will have to test it with two different computers, so you will know. But in our case, what we are doing, we are using the same, just to give you an idea of how the data gets transmitted from the transmitter to the receiver. So what happens is, it is seen the XB1 basically it transmits data. Okay, so which will be received by the receiver, So you will see here the experiment which we are doing, here. So now if you want to do this experiment, say if you want to do this experiment, now you will have to initially try to configure one XP. You will have to make this connection. You have to make the connection. So which connection actually I am saying? Now in our case, what we are doing here is, we will have to make the connection. So which connection? If you remember, this will be your connection 1. If you see here, what we are doing here is, So if you see here, pin number 1, as I told you, do you remember? Pin number 1 is the supply pin. The pin number 1 where it is connected, the pin number 1 is connected to 3V3, meaning what? It is connected to the 3.3 volt supply of the Arduino. Similarly, pin number 2, if you remember pin number 2, I told you it is the transmit pin TX. The transmit pin TX is connected to the transmit pin of the Arduino. In the Arduino also there is a transmit pin. Similarly, pin number 3 of Arduino, that is RX pin. That is RX pin. RX for serial receive. This pin is connected to RXD, that is receive pin of Arduino. So you have to remember TX of the Arduino, TX of the XP has to be connected to TX of the Arduino. RX of the XP has to be connected to RX of the Arduino for the system to work as a transmitter. Now what you are doing, you are trying to use this as a transmitter. So for the transmitter to work, you need to make this connection. TX has to be connected to TX, RX has to be connected to RX. Okay, so TX of XB to TX of Arduino, RX of XB to RX of Arduino. So this is the transmitter connection. Now, what about the receiver connection now? We have done the transmitter. What about the receiver? See, for a receiver connection, there is nothing. As I told you, in a receiver setup, you are directly connecting it to the computer. If you see here, can you see this is an XB? The XB, actually you cannot see the wire here, it has gone, but this XB is connected to the Arduino. The XB is connected to the Arduino, while you see this one. This is the XP receiver. The receiver directly is connected to the PC. Okay, so one works as the receiver and one works as the transmitter. So in a transmitter, we have an XP module connected to the Arduino, which is connected to the computer. While in a receiver, we have an XP module, which is directly connected to the computer. Okay, so now what we have to do, we need to send data from the XB transmitter to the XB receiver. Now, how do you make this as one as transmitter and one as receiver? You need to make this as transmitter and receiver, right? You will have to make one device as the transmitter and one device as the receiver. So for this, what we will be doing is we will be using a software called as an XCTU software. XCTU. Okay, we will be using XCTU software. Okay, so this is actually a dedicated software which is mainly used for programming our XB modules or XB radios. Open the XCTU software. So you can see the XCTU software is being opened. Okay, just wait. Once the XCTU software is ready. Now, to let you know, I have already connected a transmitter module and I have already configured it as the transmitter, that is the coordinator. The second one is I already have another XP module which is also configured as a receiver. So one is the transmitter and the one is the receiver, so which is already configured. Okay, so in case if you would like to configure a new XP module as a transmitter and a receiver, we will have another video demonstration for this one. So in this presentation, already I have a pre-configured module wherein one module is already configured as a transmitter before and receiver which has been done. So I will just show you how a data is transferred from the transmitter panel to the receiver panel. Now, first thing what I have to do is I will have to see to which COM port my XB modules are connected. So what I will do is I will go to the device manager. Okay, I will go to the device manager. So in the device manager, let me check. If I check the COM port, can you see here there is a port? If I check the COM port, it is showing me two communication channels which are being used by our system. So I have a COM4, I have a COM11. So we have a COM4 and then COM11, two communication channels which are being used by our system. So what we will do is we will try to check if there are two XP modules which are connected to these two communication channels. Okay, so I will close this window. So first what I have to do is I have to discover the modules. Discover means search if any XP radios are being connected to the serial port. Now you see here, it shows the list of ports which are actually available: COM4, COM7, COM8 and COM11. So in my case, I have a COM11 and I have a COM4. So we have two USB serial ports. Okay, let me try to search. Okay, so keep all these parameters same. Okay, so keep all these parameters same. Baud rate should be 9600, stop bits 1. Okay, so flow control none, data bits 8 and parity setting is none. Okay, so don't worry in case if you don't understand all these things, just try to go ahead with the default settings. Click on finish. You see now it is searching for XP modules if there are any modules which are being connected. Now if you see there are two devices which you can see here. Okay, you can see two devices and let me add these two devices now. Yes. Now if you see there are two devices which are connected and one device it has been named as the coordinator and the one device it has been named as the router. Can you see here? There is a mark called as C. C stands for coordinator and R stands for router. Okay, so we have two devices. Now let me open the coordinator channel. I will click on the coordinator. So it updates the user interface. Okay, it updates the user interface. So it will show you some settings here. There are some radio module settings which are automatically coming. So you don't need to do anything here. Okay, just observe what is happening. Okay, so it is basically what it is doing is it is reading the radio module parameters. So there are a lot of parameters which comes into picture here. So here what we have to do is there are some settings which has to be done. Okay, so there are some settings which has to be done. So what type of settings I shall explain you. Okay, so in any radio module what happens, or as a matter of fact, let us consider this radio module. In an XP module, it is seen that you will have to configure the PAN channel or the PAN ID, the channel, as well as the source as well as the destination addresses. Okay, the source as well as the destination addresses. So what happens here is you will have to make use of a channel. Let me show you here. It's coming here. Okay, so if you see here, I have something called, can you see the first one? The first one, it is called as a PAN ID. It is called as the PAN ID. So you will have a PAN ID. Okay, so we will have to choose a PAN ID, any number from 0000 to FFFF. Okay, so you will have to make use of a channel from 0000, okay, up to FFFF. So what happens here is you will have to have a channel. Okay, so let me just wait for some time. It is not responding. Just a minute. Okay, some problem. 1 minute. It is updating the device information. What is the problem? Let us see. Now it is updating. Yes, I think this is fine. Updating the device information for the router. Okay, so we have configured the router. I will tell you there are only 2-3 channels that you have to change here, 2-3 fields like this. There are different fields, right? You will have to change only 2-3 fields. Keep all other fields as it is. Okay, let me come back to the coordinator. I don't know what is the issue. Let me try to make the connection once again. I suspect that it could be related to the connection. Let me try to connect it again. Okay, I will close this. Okay, and let me try to open one more XCTU. Okay, and I will show you. So you might be thinking why we are using two different XCTUs. No, it is not two different. It is one single XCTU. So I try because I will have to show you the data transmission. So in one window, I will try to configure the transmitter, that is the coordinator, and in the other window, we will try to configure the receiver. Okay, so what I will do now. So let me check. This is connected to COM4. Okay, so I will have to select the COM11. Okay, I will have to select the COM11. So let me check if is there any problem in the wiring. It's perfectly connected, so there is no issue here. Okay, so 1 2 3 4. Okay, fine. So let me scan, finish. Okay, so we have a coordinator. I will add the selected device. So let me click on the coordinator. It is updating the user interface. Operation in progress. I think yes, it is working properly. Okay, so fine. Now what we have is we have two communication channel. We have two channels here. So I have the router. I mean, we have one as the router and we have one as the transmitter. Okay, now if you observe very carefully here, now what is important here is, most important thing here is, let me start with the coordinator. We will have a PAN ID. Okay, we will have a PAN ID, and the PAN ID of both the transmitter and the receiver should be same. Otherwise, it will not work. So we have a PAN ID. That is one important thing. Okay. The make sure now I have used a PAN ID of 1234. You can give any value from 00000 to FFFF. Now it has been configured to work as a coordinator. Okay. And if you see, you will have a source address. Okay. And you will have two destination addresses. Now, what this coordinator is doing is this coordinator is working in the broadcast mode. Always remember, okay, you will have to have a address of 0 in the DH field. Now there are two types of addresses. One is the source address and one is the destination address. Source means from where you start. Destination means from where you go. In our case, the destination is our receiver. We are sending the data from the transmitter to the receiver. So what happens here is we have two destination addresses, not two. The destination address has been split as destination address high and destination address low. Okay, so the destination address high has to be 0, while the destination address has to be FFFF. Okay, so most important thing here is you will have to have a DH value of 0 and a PAN ID of 1234. Okay, let me check in the receiver. You see now, this is the receiver. In the receiver, I have 1234, which is same. Okay, and if I come down, can you see my DH again is 0000. It should be the same. The destination address high should match. So don't worry about the destination address low, that will be different. While DHI and PAN ID should match. Now, make sure that the PAN ID of both the transmitter and the receiver is matching. That is the first thing that you have to see. While the second point, what we have to note is the second thing is we will have to make sure that the destination address high DH of both the communication of both transmitter as well as receiver should be same. Okay, so now let me show you. I have not connected any sensor, any actuator to my transmitter. In this experiment, I will show you a very basic communication, okay, between the serial monitor of the transmitter as well as the serial monitor of the receiver. That's all. So when I try to type some data in the serial monitor of the transmitter, the same information will be going into the serial monitor of the receiver. You can see that. So let me try to minimize this size. Okay, so one will be wait, yeah. Now what I will do is I will open both the communication channel. If you observe here, okay, let me not this one. We will have to switch the console. Okay, let me click on open the serial console, and similarly here I'll switch in the router also. I will switch on the console and let me open the console. Okay, so now you see here we have two console logs here. Okay, we have two console logs. This is the console log where we try. This is the serial monitor of the transmitter and this is the serial monitor of the receiver. Okay, I'll write some information. HELLO. If you see, the same HELLO can be seen. I have written HELLO here. Okay, the same HELLO is appearing in the receiver serial monitor. Okay, so let me continue. Hello, this you can see this is coming in the receiver serial window also. This is the transmitter. It might take some time, there might be some delay. This is the transmitter talking to the receiver. Okay, so this is what is appearing in the receiver module. Now similarly, you can also transfer the data from the receiver also. Okay, it works vice versa. Hi. Thank you. I am receiver module here. Okay, so you can see that it is bidirectional. Okay, you can also parallelly send the data from the receiver back to the transmitter. So we have the data which we are sending from the transmitter to the receiver and from the receiver to the transmitter. So you can see that there is a communication which is established between the transmitter as well as the receiver module. Okay, so let me close the communication channel of the transmitter. I will close the communication channel of the receiver. Okay, let me switch back to the settings window, and here also let me switch back to the settings window, and what we will do is we will try to close both the modules. Okay, I have closed it, and let me close the receiver also. Okay, so this comes to the end of our presentation. This comes to the end of our presentation. So what we have seen in our today's presentation is we were able to understand. Okay, so we were able to understand what is an XP. We have discussed what is an XP. We have discussed about types of communication and which are the different devices which are available in XP, the pin diagram of an XP, and configuring or programming an XP. As I told you, when you try to configure, you will try to make use of an XCTU software and try to program one module as the coordinator module and one module as the receiver. And when you are programming, two things are very important. One is the PAN ID. The PAN ID of both the transmitter, that is the coordinator, and the receiver has to be same. Okay, it has to be same, and the destination address high has to be 0 for both the modules. Okay, so this with this programming or with this configuration, now we have also demonstrated how we can transfer data from an XP transmitter to an XP receiver. We have actually shown a simple demonstration which tries to transfer the data from the transmitter to the receiver. Okay. Thank you. So in case if you have any questions, you can reach back to me. Okay, and we can discuss in case of any clarifications from your end. Okay, good day. Thank you.